We are live down here with Romance Happy Hour, and I am here, of course, with the beautiful Dylann. This way. She's this way. And Jennie Marts and Rachel Everly. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
I'm very excited. And Jennie is I don't want to say repeats. She's a
returning guest.
Returning, yes.
She's a repeat caller.
A repeat caller. A returning guest, of course. If you all remember, she was really early in the Romance Happy Hour. Did she join us? So we're very excited to have her back. And Rachel, we're very excited to have you here as well. Dylann, what are you working on?
I am in less than 12 hours. I will be heading out to Riders on the River in East Peoria, Illinois tomorrow. So that'll be fun. It's
so jealous.
I know. It's really cool to be getting back to in-person signings. So I was just telling Dawn I can't find my credit card reader and I can't find some other stuff that I normally have on my table. But hey, we're just going to go with it. So
yeah.
So I've been stress packing all day.
Yeah, I was going to say all the things wrong are going wrong for you today because you're leaving tomorrow. So
that means everything will be good this weekend, right? Is that how it works for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So
now
beyond that book world, I am working on some stuff. I just got the notice from the audio people for Kiss Me Now Cowboy. That's my next release that comes out in August, and they're starting to record the audio on Monday.
How exciting.
So, that's fun.
Yay.
Super excited about that. So,
yeah.
And then I just got a bunch of book stuff that I've got to keep working on. So
yeah.
How about you, John? What are you up to? We saw your pictures from the rodeo, but
yes, yeah, it was.
You cannot see the teeny tiny little faces that were in the box. So, are you able to tell us who attended the rodeo or not?
Yeah, I can. I didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement for that one.
Okay.
No, so what that is I'm thinking that Yellowstone. We all of a sudden, my little town got these brand new like seats for our arena, like grandstands. We got grandstands during the winter time, got all these. And then, so we went to our first, and mind you, my town is 700 people. Okay. In the winter time when it's the actual, just the town. Right now it's thousands of people because as you know, Yellowstone is here. So I'm pretty sure they gave us the grandstands because now when you go there, everything is Yellowstone. If you notice in the picture, the Yellowstone brand is everywhere in that picture.
And the Dutton Ranch brand?
Yeah. So they get, I think they all get special seating. So those box seats are all for the Yellowstone people and their guests. So anytime there's a rodeo, they're just coming in and going in all over the place. So yes, it was.
Dawn was teasing us. She posted this picture and said, "Recognize anyone?" And the people's heads were like this big,
tiny. Yeah,
and I'm old, and I was like, "No, like I can't even zoom in far enough."
I couldn't even zoom in myself. I'm like this because like I think Rip was there, but he was like Cole at that time, so he had a different hat on, right? And they were giving away. They were doing an auction in town, and they did. I'm
like
thinking
it was Rip. Auction?
No, a badge. That would have been great. That would have been great. No, this one, there's a local hat company called the Double H Hat, and they're actually pretty big, and they do custom hats. And so they were one donation for $1,000 hat, and belt buckles and all these other things. Well, of course, Yellowstone won all of the, like they were all bidding the crap out of these. So I'm pretty sure if that was Rip, he got a brand new hat from the Double H Customs. If that was Rip, that was bidding on it. But I couldn't tell either. I had my phone and I was like, is that him? He's in a white hat, not a black one. I can't tell. So, but
it's all right. We all live vicariously through Dawn now. So.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great rodeo though, because one of the boys that was riding there is one of my daughter's class, and he actually made it to nationals this year.
Wow.
And so he was doing a fundraiser there, and Yellowstone was there. So his thing was, there was this bull Darbacious, and I didn't get this picture because I should have, but Darbacious can actually be saddled and ridden. And so some of the local cowboys will ride him around Darby occasionally, apparently. And so the other day, I just was coming through to my house, and all of a sudden there's just this saddled bull tied to the fire hydrant next to the Blue Joint bar. And I'm just like, I got to get this picture. But by the time I got back, he was gone. But Darbacious is the local bull. They were retiring him after this. But our local boy, my daughter's friend, was riding in the rodeo, trying to earn money. And the local hospital said they'll match any donations he gets from that ride that night if he lasts 8 seconds.
Ooh,
And
on
so
Darbacious?
on Darbacious.
Okay. The one
And
that's to be
so
ridden on a saddle.
right, but he actually bucks like crap. Like, he's a good bucker too. Like, a good bull is super tame unless you want him to buck, and then he just bucks. And
Wow.
so he rode Darbacious, and not only did he get a massive amount of donations because Yellowstone was there,
Mhm.
the local hospital matched it because he rode it 8 seconds, and he got 89 points.
Ooh,
And
good
so
for
he
him.
won the whole rodeo. So, yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
he's like this little junior in high school. So, yeah, we're super proud of our local heroes here. Small town.
And
All right,
that's in
Rachel,
Montana. Is that right, Dawn? Montana?
Yeah, Darby, Montana. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Nice.
was gonna say we should have
Yeah.
warned Rachel that she was gonna be surrounded by cowboy authors
Cowboy
tonight.
girls.
Cowboys. Yeah.
I got horses behind me. I don't know if you can see that.
That's not all we write, but the three of
Yeah.
us do write that in common. So that's
Oh,
funny.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Teresa's saying, "All right, which one of you is riding a saddled bull now?"
I know, right?
I don't
Oh
know.
my
We
God.
might have to arm wrestle for that.
Oh, I will. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of plotting. That's awesome. Yeah, great. I got it. Saddle bull.
So, are you
Gosh.
writing anything, Dawn, or just attending rodeos with famous people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I did a I'm gonna tell you here because they haven't hired me back, so it's not like they care. I did a couple episodes of Yellowstone as an extra in the background, but if they find this and they hear me saying that, then they're gonna fire me for future, but they haven't hired me again, so we'll see. But um I'm using it for a lot of research. It's really interesting in the background. I'm currently plotting out A Cowboy's Kiss. So Cowboy's Kiss is about a cowboy who knows what a kiss is? Kissing the bull. Do you guys know? Or is that just like a Montana slang thing? I'm not sure. So kissing the bull, my first boyfriend was a bull rider, and kissing the bull is where the cowboy smacks heads with the bull. They're kissing it. And so my one boyfriend had a concussion from doing that. So I thought, okay, well, so the cowboy's kiss is at the very beginning, he smacks heads with the bull. So he just kind of has this whole change outlook in life. So it's kind of a redemption. And so I'm kind of plotting that out. But my agent came back and said, okay, well, let's rethink your hero. So I'm rethinking my hero and kind of trying to plot him out a little bit. That's what I'm working on. And Kate, I just got to answer Kate real quick. I was not affected by the flooding. I was not. No, we weren't. That was kind of one valley over. So we had a lot of high rivers, but not anything like Yellowstone did. But Dylan, you're coming to Montana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm not going to get to see you.
No, I'm sorry.
I guess I forget how big Montana is. So we'll be in two different parts.
Yeah.
You know, my latest book that just came out is set in Montana, and it's essentially like based on Fort Benton, Montana.
Okay, well, that just means you need to come visit me.
Yeah.
I got an RV you can stay in. And you can just go tour everywhere.
Perfect.
Wow, Jenny, she's never offered me the RV.
Perfect.
You could stay in the RV too if you want, Dylan.
Let's go
Ooh,
together. We'll do a writing
we
retreat.
could. We
Yeah.
could.
that would be
You
really
In my
great.
RV.
Rachel, you can come too.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
So, Jenny, since we're talking cowboys, why don't you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about you and what you write and what you've been working on?
Well, okay. I'm glad you asked because I do have some stuff to tell you. So
Awesome.
I am Jennie Marts. I write cozy mystery. I write Western romance. I write romantic comedy. This summer, I have been just all cowboy, all Western romance. My latest book that just came out in June, I had 2 releases this year, and they both are in June and July. So, and they're both cowboys. So my release with Hallmark Publishing just came out a few weeks ago. This is Cowboy Ever After from
Hey.
Hallmark. So this is
Cover.
sweet romance, timid romance writer is writing Western romance, and she's getting the details wrong. So her editor sends her to stay on a ranch with her brother in Montana. And when she gets to the ranch, she meets the real life replica of the hero in her book. So this has been really fun. And I've been promoting this book like heck. And tonight we're going to switch and we're going to promote my new book, which I'm super excited about. So there was Cowboy Ever After. Yay. We talked about that. But I also write a horse rescue series.
Oh.
And that is A Cowboy State of Mind and When a Cowboy Loves a Woman and How to Cowboy. And the brand new book for this series that's coming out in a couple weeks is Never Enough Cowboy.
Yay.
And this is the one I'm going to read from tonight. And I am beyond excited about this book. It's one of my most favorite ones that I've written. I feel like it's one of my best. I just am really proud of this one. I'm really excited about it. And I have to say, I can't pop back in the chat, but Linda, thank you for reading Cowboy Ever After and for loving it. And Teresa, you'll have to think of new questions about Never Enough Cowboy because she just came to my book signing at Cowboy Ever After. So
I just got to say, though, the title is perfect because there's never enough cowboys.
There's
Yeah.
never enough cowboys, yes. And actually what I'm working on, which is so funny because I'm inundated with cowboys, but what I'm on deadline for, as of Monday, my book is due Monday, and I passed 70,000 words today, and I just need another 10,000 by Monday, and to edit it and have it ready to turn in on Monday. So that'll be super big weekend for Jenny, is a cozy mystery. So I signed a couple of new cozy mysteries with Crooked Lane Books. It hasn't been announced yet, but super secret. Whoop-de-doo.
You guys are spilling all the tea.
I know, right?
I'll have to see. Rachel's going to have a secret for us. So no pressure.
Good ones.
Thinking, yeah.
So Jenny, Teresa is saying that she's waiting for the next installment of your Page Turners book club.
I know. I am
that coming along.
That's a great question. I wish I had a good answer for that question.
Never enough time.
Yeah, never. It's coming. It's in the works. So, but I don't know when.
Yeah. And what about you, Rachel? So tell us about what you're working on, a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
And also, if you have any secrets, I'm sorry, I had to add that. If you have any secrets.
Yeah, and your secret.
Yeah. Well, so I used to write as MC Cerny, and basically I just have a new pen name, so it's same me, basically same everything. And a lot of my backlist books are just going to get rebranded under my new name because I had some life changes. You know, we all kind of have that. You know, the panini's over. You know, end of a relationship, buy a house, all kinds of craziness. So I'm just, new chapter in my life, literally across the board. So I'm currently in between like several projects. So I write romantic comedy, like super steamy romantic comedies. And I also write dark romance and some mafia stuff I'm kind of starting. So, and I'm putting a lot of that on my Patreon page, which is kind of new for me. I've never done that before. So we'll see what that's like. So definitely get all the sneak peeks and tea on there. Will definitely be coming out there. But yeah, I'm just enjoying kind of getting back to my writing schedule. Because I'm not a full-time author, but like I have a lot of stuff out there. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, we are here for all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, our viewers will love all of that. If it has romance in it,
Yeah.
we're here for it.
Well, and Linda just said mafia romance. Yes. So we do have some mafia fans.
Linda, I think Linda likes things a little dark sometimes.
I
So
know. I don't know.
I've
She's
seen
got
that
that.
about her.
Yeah.
Well, then that makes me feel good that she just read my Hallmark book and loved it. So
You know, isn't it? It seems that readers who like dark will also read light stuff, but people who just really, really, really like the light stuff don't often venture
read the
into
dark.
the dark. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I'd like that. I'll read anything. Well,
yeah, I'm all over the place.
any romance,
Mhm. Me too, for the most part.
I gotta be honest, like self-help books and stuff like that, I can't get past the first page. Like I'm not
Well,
not
it's
a
because
nonfiction person.
you're already helped, Dawn. I mean,
No, oh my God, I need the help. I need the help most of all right now. I'm a mess.
so Rachel, I wanted to ask you because
Mhm.
you mentioned Patreon and you've got a new little thing going on Patreon, don't you? I'm kind of
Oh,
on the
yes.
the
So
edges of that. I have not jumped in with both feet yet, but
yes.
I am definitely I'm in the group and I haven't got set up yet, but I'm
Yeah.
jumping in too.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually going to be posting my steamy one shot later this evening because I wrote a little bit more than I thought I was going to write. So
Uh-oh.
yeah, because they're going to be, short little, very steamy open door snippets. And on all of our Patreon pages, it's a very special tier. So, you're definitely going to get those steamy scenes. And I know for mine, I've kind of planned them around a brand new couple, which will have a dark romance mafia kind of thing. And every week we're going to get a new prompt, and it's a very random prompt. And this week's prompt was unexpected, we'll say.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was glad that I wasn't playing along yet because I wasn't sure how I would have worked in this week's prompt into my contemporary small town stuff.
Yeah. So
there is well, I was gonna say I'm not live on it yet, but for those of you that don't know what Patreon is, it is I guess like a private group. Well, not all of it's private, but it's just a platform where authors can post content and they can have free tiers, or there can be tiers where it's a subscription every month. And so the Steamy One Shot is a collaboration between several authors, and it's a $2 a month tier. And so the authors are going to be posting a steamy, like 500 to 15 word short every week based on the random. So there's a Facebook group that if you are a supporter of one of these authors on their Patreon, you can join the Facebook group, and then they spin this wheel and it gives the random prompt for the week, and you can come in and watch that live. And then we're supposed to release our story on Wednesdays, I think, this is the first week, so it's all kind of coming together. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, this week, I don't know if we're allowed to say what the prompt was, but
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
It is PG-13.
Well, we can use euphemisms for some of that. So they say not if walls could talk, but if your
flower was talking.
Flower, kitty cat.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
And it'll be interesting to see where it goes, because some of our authors write, paranormal. I took a very much more contemporary slant on that. So yeah, but mine's going to follow one specific couple for each of the prompts. So
Oh, cool.
we'll see where the
Fun.
story goes.
Yeah.
So if people want to check that out, they can find you on your Patreon, right?
Yes.
And is it under your
Rachel Everly. Mhm.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Well,
Alright.
I think we should get going to Jenny
Yes.
decided to go first, right?
Oh, to
So-
read?
To read, yes.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, because we've already been through 20 minutes. I told you it goes fast. It's fast.
We have a
So
lot
I'm
to
gonna.
talk about.
I know so much to catch up on. All right, I'm gonna pop you up here, Jenny, and there you are.
Here we go. Should I just go?
Yep, go for it.
Okay. Okay, so I am reading from Never Enough Cowboy, and this book is about Jillian, the librarian, single mom librarian. She's got a 10-year-old son, Milo. She was in the book previous, and the hero is Ethan Rayburn, Deputy Ethan Rayburn. He's going to run for sheriff, which causes some problems because Jillian, the sweet, sassy librarian, has some dark stuff in her past that could get in trouble. She could get in trouble with dating the sheriff. So the book opens. In all of this whole series is a ornery goat named Otis. And Otis is always getting in tug of wars with people, with women especially. And usually it's for their clothing of some sort. So the book opens with Otis has gotten in a tug of war with Jillian for her skirt. You know, those little rip skirts like you wear on the beach? And she climbed up in the rafters of the barn. She's at the ranch by herself. The goat has taken off with her skirt and knocked the ladder down. He tried to climb up the ladder and the ladder knocked down. And so she's up in the barn with no skirt on. And this truck pulls up and it's Ethan. Okay. And so Ethan, this is it. Ethan just walks in to the barn. Jillian, is that you? She cringed as she heard his deep voice call from below. He'd already seen her. It wasn't like she could pretend she wasn't up here, no matter how hard she wanted to. She peeked her head over the edge of the loft and tried for casual nonchalance, as if she'd just run into him at the supermarket, instead of half naked and trapped in the barn loft. Oh, hi, Ethan. His brow furrowed. What are you doing up there? She let out a heavy sigh. I'm stuck. Bryn's stupid goat chased me up here, then knocked the ladder down. A grin tugged at the corner of his lips, and he pointed to the fallen ladder lying on the barn floor. I can fix that, but you're making my first damsel in distress call this morning pretty easy. He picked up the ladder and leaned it back against the edge of the loft. That's what you think. First off, I'm no damsel. I'm curvy and 5'9", and I haul around stacks of books for a living, so I can take care of myself. He grinned up at her. Wait, you had me at curvy. A warm flush heated her cheeks. Stop it. Curvy is just a nicer way of saying that I have an hourglass figure with way more sand in the bottom half. That just happens to be where I'm the most partial to sand. Oh, my word. She rolled her eyes, but her insides were flipping around like she had jumping beans in her belly. He lifted his hands off the ladder. But if you don't need me, I could take off. No, wait. I said I'm not a damsel, but I'll admit to being in the slightest bit of distress. At your service, ma'am, he said, deepening his voice and winking up at her. Why did everything out of his mouth sound dirty? And why did she like it? Also, he wasn't usually this cool. He usually seemed much more nervous and a little tongue-tied around her. Maybe he felt more comfortable in his official capacity as deputy. I'm sort of afraid of heights, and by sort of, I mean terrified, so I may need a little help getting down. He chuckled. Okay, not a problem. I can come up and get you. He lifted his cowboy boot onto the first rung of the ladder. No, don't. I mean, that's nice of you, but there's another problem. What is it? She chewed her bottom lip as she tried to figure out how best to phrase it. So, when the goat chased me up here, we were having sort of a tug-of-war with my skirt, and he won. Say again? Please don't make me repeat it. I'm humiliated enough as it is. So you're telling me there's a goat running around here somewhere with your skirt, and you're up there in just your, There was that tongue-tied guy she was used to. She nodded. My underpants, yes. He raised an eyebrow. Did you say underpants? Yes, I have a 10-year-old son. That's what we call them in our house. Are you more comfortable if I call them panties? He cringed, and a pink blush crawled up his neck. Nope, I'm good with underpants. Actually, I'm good with not talking about them at all. Well, we don't have to talk about them, but from where you're standing, you're certainly going to get to see them. Let's just pretend I'm here on official duty. I'll try to think of you as a kitten stuck up in a tree. Pink colored his cheeks again. Okay, maybe not a kitten. Jillian pressed her lips together to keep from laughing. It was kind of adorable the way he blushed, especially since the man was a 6-foot-plus broad-shouldered hunk of a cowboy. He scrubbed a hand across the back of his neck. I just meant that I can stay professional. And don't worry, I've seen a lot crazier things in my line of work. Once I had to help save a 300-pound naked guy who got his hand stuck in the toilet trying to save his phone from being flushed. Seriously, dude, do you think telling me about a 300-pound naked guy stuck in a toilet is helping me to feel better about this situation? Well, no, I didn't mean... Let's just go back to you thinking of me as a kitten. Her heart pounded as she tried not to think about how high up she was. I can do this. Summoning her courage, she started to stand, but then couldn't bring herself to swing her bare leg over the side of the ladder with him down there looking up at her. I can't do this. Don't be afraid. I'm right here. I won't let you fall. And I'm still willing to come up there. No, I can do it. I just can't quite get over your vantage point. Oh, you want me to wait outside? Heck no, I want you to hold the ladder steady. I got it, he said, switching to the other side of the ladder and disappearing from her view. His voice came up from under the loft. I'll just hold on to the ladder from this side while you get situated. Okay, that works. She took a deep breath, thankful he was being such a good sport about this whole awkward situation. I'm going to get on the ladder now. You sure you got a good hold of it? Yep, I got it. And that first step is the hardest. Once you're on the ladder, it's smooth sailing from there. Her pulse raced as she turned around. She wiped her sweaty palms on her shirt, then took hold of the top rung and swung her leg over. She let out a squeal as her shoe slipped. You okay? Yes, she said, her voice a little shaky as she regained her footing. Talk to me. Tell me something you're thinking about. You mean besides my half-naked attempt to defy death as I descend a ladder that looks older than my grandma? Yes. She had to smile. Okay, I'm thinking about how I've lived in California for the past 10 years and I've gone to the beach a million times, so I'm trying to pretend I'm just wearing my swimsuit. She was fully on the ladder now, and she took another hesitant step down. Then do I get to be the lifeguard who's saving you? I'm certified in first aid, so I can administer mouth-to-mouth if the situation calls for it. She could hear the humor in his voice as she took another step. You're a pretty smooth talker when you're hidden under the loft. She descended another few steps, and Ethan's head came into view. His eyes were wide, and his mouth was open as he stared at her midsection. He made kind of a choking sound, then said, Are you wearing Iron Man underwear? She'd been waiting for some kind of comment when her red and yellow bikini underwear came into view. Now it was her face heating up. Yes, no, sort of. It's my sister's fault. She has a weird sense of humor, and she wanted me to be brave about moving out here to Colorado, so she ordered me this value pack of superhero underpants, but when they came, we realized they were knockoffs, so I'm actually wearing Iron Man underwear. She took another cautious step down the ladder, anxious to get her crotch out of his direct line of sight. I'd like to tell you I'm only wearing them because I'm low on laundry, but if you must know, I often wear them when I need a little extra ounce of courage or superhero skills for the upcoming day. I gotta know, what's happening in your life today that warranted Iron Man's superhuman strength, genius-level intellect, and acerbic wit? I'd say if it was a tug-of-war with a goat, Iron Man failed me. She cocked an eyebrow, peering at him through the rungs of the ladder. But I applaud your use of the word acerbic. He smiled and lifted his shoulders in a shrug. My mom was an English teacher. She raised her kids to have an expansive vocabulary. Jillian offered him a coy smile. You know, big words are a turn-on for librarians. He swallowed. All librarians or just you? She lifted one shoulder. Why, is there another librarian you're interested in turning on? He tilted his head. Hazel Duncan works the desk at the library and she's pretty cute. Jillian barked out a laugh. She's 83. She's still pretty feisty. You make a valid point. I'm just asking to make sure I properly comprehend what kind of effects my usage of substantially large words might have on you. She raised an eyebrow. Don't think I don't know what you're doing. What? He asked, obviously trying to sound innocent. He raised his hand on the side of the ladder. It was just the slightest movement, but it was enough for the top of his fingers to graze the underside of hers. Because you shared that, I'm just going to tell you that maybe women in superhero underwear are a turn-on for cowboys. Jillian laughed, heat shooting up her spine at the soft touch of his hand against hers. I think all women in their underwear are a turn-on for cowboys. He shrugged. All right, you do make a valid point. She took the last step and heaved a sigh of relief as her foot touched the solid ground of the barn floor. Her knees shook as her other foot followed. Ethan circled the ladder and slid his arm around her waist. Hey now, I got you. He peered down at her, offering her a coy grin as he picked a bit of hay from her bangs. You made it out of the tree, kitten. There you go.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
I love that.
I
Iron
love
Man.
it so much. Iron
hysterical.
Man. Yeah.
So go ahead and one-click pre-order it right now. It comes out on the 26th.
Heck yeah.
26th of July.
26th of July. Yeah, it's
Okay,
going to be
great.
here in
Okay.
less than 2 weeks. So
Yes.
Okay.
Super soon.
yeah,
All
And that
right.
was never again cowboy?
never enough cowboy.
Never enough cowboy. Okay. Okay.
Catherine said that she actually has had a tug of war with a goat and they'll eat anything. So, all right, let me see. We did have a couple questions. Let me go right
good.
up to the
Good.
top. Oh, where did they start?
Before she gets to that, Jenny, so Never Enough Cowboy, what's that? What publishing company is that coming out with? Is that just going to be on
It's with
Amazon? Sourcebooks.
It's
So
with
will it be
Sourcebooks,
in?
so it'll be at Walmart, it'll be at Barnes and Noble, it'll be wherever books are sold. It should be in your grocery store. It's mass market paperback, so you should be able to find it anywhere. But if you
Yay.
pre-order it, I think it will just show up right on your the paperback. It'll show up on your door pretty close to when it comes out, but you should be able to find it in Walmart. And if you walk into Walmart or Barnes and Noble on July 26th and it is not there, ask them for it because they're having a little trouble with shelving stuff. So
Okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that my Walmart, sadly, the book section is shrinking, and then it's like I don't know if they're having staffing issues, but sometimes they're just not. They don't update it every Tuesday like they're like they say they will. So, all right. So if you don't see it on the day it comes out, ask about it. But there's still a chance that they are going to get it. They just haven't had their book person there yet.
yeah.
So, all right. Linda wants to know, what do you hope your readers take away from your stories?
So my stories always have a quirky small town in them. I was asked the other day about why I write Western romance besides the cowboys. And it's just, for me, it's kind of all about community and that sense of, how small town people take care of each other. And, so I think that's what I want people to take away is hope. A lot of my stories are second chance, redemption, and just an escape. And I feel like you're kind of stepping a little bit, not necessarily back in time, but just to a simpler time and a simpler place where people are just kind and take care of each other.
Yeah.
How about you, Rachel?
Doesn't that sound nice? And some sexy times.
Yeah.
They did, and they have some sexy times too.
Unless it's a Hallmark book.
Unless it's a Hallmark, then there's no.
And it's just alluded to, right?
Yeah.
How about you, Rachel?
Oh gosh. I hope that readers can, like just have an escape, just kind of, dive into another world, not have to think about what they're going through and just, like I think like with my rom-com series, it's a small town, everybody knows everybody, and they're the kind of characters that like you would want as your friends. And then they're just so involved in everybody's life. But it's a nice way to just not have to think about like what you're going through.
Yeah.
And to laugh and to have some steamy fun.
Yeah.
I love those answers. Yeah. And I would just add to that, I mean, when you step into that other world, you know that everything's going to turn out okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to get a happy ending or a happy for now ending for the most part. So yeah, I love that. Let's see. Teresa wants to know, who is your favorite secondary character in all of your books?
It's kind of a toss-up because I love putting sassy old ladies into my books and feisty old ladies. So both of my grandmas were I was really close to both of my grandmas, and I just love feisty old ladies. So in my Page Turner Cozy Mystery series, Edna is the 80-something-year-old grandma that's like always the neighbor lady who's always getting them into trouble and getting them starting harebrained schemes. And in the Horse Rescue series, Aunt Sassy, she's only the James brothers' aunt, but the whole town has kind of adopted her as their aunt, and she's always getting them into trouble. And boy, does she get them into trouble in this book.
I love writing old ladies in my books. I do. I love it.
I do too.
It is so much fun because you can just how like old ladies like to get away with crap and I said crap, Dylan, I didn't say the SH word.
I know you've said it a couple of times now, Dawn. I'm counting.
Damn it. Oh,
yeah. See?
old ladies get away with stuff because they're old and they think, screw it, like I'm old. And so in a book, you can say, screw it, she's old. She can get away with whatever she wants. I love writing old ladies. It's so much fun.
How about you, Rachel? Who's your favorite secondary character in all your books?
Gosh. In some of Pets, some good pet characters.
Yeah.
I do have one character in my, rom-com series where he's kind of like what do I want to call him? He's like the beta male. I guess what is it? The cinnamon roll? Is that what we're gonna call them?
Cinnamon roll, yeah.
And I just feel like he's so like misunderstood, and he's a great guy. He takes care of his girl, gets himself into a lot of trouble. But, at the end of the day, like, he just has a big heart and he means well. Yeah. And I have some old ladies too, because, gotta have those.
Love it. All right. Let's see. Another one from Teresa. Should we do like maybe two more and then we'll get to reading again? Teresa wants to know, this should be quick. Would you rather spend your free time in the mountains or on a beach?
I live in the mountains, so I would take a beach. I'm so ready for a beach.
What about you?
Oh gosh. So I live in rural New Jersey, like up in the mountains, and we have lots of lakes with beaches. So I feel like I get like the best of both worlds.
So I'm gonna ask you afterwards where in New Jersey, because I lived in Cape May for a while. So okay. Just tell me where.
I'm in the center of Colorado, so I am landlocked.
Yeah. No, I was just
the beach.
I'm gonna say like does a lake count as the beach? And I'm kind of iffy as if it does, because today I was on a lake in the mountains and it was kind of beachy, but I talked to this about with my broker. It lacks that peacefulness like that you get at the beach with like the waves lapping and
I think the ocean is a whole different.
It is. Yeah. So it's like a beach, but not the beach.
I think it depends on the lake too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we are our tiny cabins on a lake, but there's not like a nice sandy beach. I mean, it's
I'm thinking like a beach where the guys come by and are like, "Would you like a frozen mudslide?"
So booze has to be involved.
Like that's a different level of beach. All right, one more from Linda. What led you to start writing? This one might take a little bit longer. So give us a condensed version of your story. Who wants to go
me
first?
or Rachel?
Either way.
Rachel, you can go first this time.
Okay. Was watching a TV show. I'm not going to say which one. And I just didn't like the ending. And I thought, well, what if I just wrote a book with my own ending? And that just kind of got the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. Well, now afterwards, in addition to where you're gonna live, yes, I want to know it. So 100%.
So Dawn, you don't have to tell everyone all the great information you're going to get after we stop the show. I mean, just
I won't tell. I won't tell.
Keep it to yourself and just ask her. But
I only tell Dylan's secrets, so don't worry about it.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
That's funny.
How about you, Jenny?
So I always wanted to write a book. I've been a writer since, grade school. I wrote my first book in 5th grade. It was like a Nancy Drew mystery book in 5th grade. And I wrote a book in 8th grade. And I always knew I was going to do it. Life kind of got in the way. And, you have a job and a husband and kids and all that just sort of, I don't know. And I turned 40 years old and did this kind of life look, back at my life. Like, what have I always wanted to do? My kids are getting ready to leave home, go to college. What's my next thing? And I always wanted to write a book. And I just was like, well, what are you waiting for? You better do it if you think you're going to do it. So I actually got out a notebook and started plotting the page turners. And I thought about what I liked reading in books. And I wanted a book club and I wanted a mystery and I wanted a romance. And then I love Janet Ivanovich. She's my favorite author. And she posted somewhere, like I went on her website and it said, if you want to write romance, Romance Writers of America is a thing. And there was a chapter in my town. And I started going to meetings and conferences and just learning everything I could and have made some of the best friends of my life, including Dylann, through conferences and going and meeting other writers. And I self-published my first book in 2012 and have 27 now, hybrid, both traditional. I think I've got 13 indie and 14 traditional. So
a few things. I have a story similar to you, only it was Linda Lale Miller. And I was on a Facebook chat with her and I said, I decided to write a book. What should I do? And she said, join Romance Writers of America.
Isn't that awesome?
And, and also, who here has met Dylann through either an online thing or like a conference? Is that all of us?
Book signing, maybe.
Book signing?
I mean, there's
there's
only 3 of you here. So
I mean, but we all have met you through like a conference or a book, like book event or something.
Well, but that's how I've met all you too. So I mean, it's the same.
Yeah, but I feel like I've known you so long and I've seen you in person so many times. I don't remember even where I met you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I met you either, Jenny. I think maybe we've always just been connected.
Always been friends.
Yeah.
You've always been.
All right. We need to get to Rachel's story.
Rachel, yes.
It's going by very quickly. We do have a couple other questions, but I'm going to save them until after. So
I'm popping you up, Rachel.
Okay.
And you are alone.
Oh. So I guess I'll just give you like a little bit of just a tiny little bit of background. So this is from my Love by Design series. It's Love Under Construction. It's the first book in the series. Like I said, I changed my pen name. I'm rebranding. So it's not quite on Amazon yet, but it will be as I get them all back up there. But anyway, small town, rom-com, romance, everybody's friends with everybody. They all went to high school together. And now it's like 10 years later. My male main character, Hunter, he alpha male, went off to the military, came back. My female main character, she went off to college, got her degree in design, watched a lot of the Property Brothers and was like, I want to flip houses. And so this is her first project coming home. And there's lots of other stuff going on with the other characters, but just to kind of set up this particular chapter, it's Hunter and Taylor Jane, and they are in the flipped property, and they have some animal intruders. So I'll just go from there. And because he's kind of a potty mouth, I'm gonna beep out the, the stuff you probably don't want on there. Okay. Hunter, get in here. Taylor Jane screamed at the top of her lungs, scaring the poop out of me as I scrambled to get down off the ladder, nearly catching my hammer in the process. This happened to be one of those nights where it was the two of us who remained working together and everyone else quit for the day. The ladder jerked, and for a moment I wondered if I was going to fall before I righted myself, taking another step down to the solid wood floor beneath my feet. This woman would be the death of me. I questioned why I ever agreed to this darn project in the first place, tripping on the last rung down. My boot lodged, the aluminum ladder colliding on top of me, crashing down. My body broke the ladder's fall, and my back hit the floor hard, kicking the wind right out of me. Luckily, nothing killed me falling off the top, only the rain of silver nails I had been using to secure the section of drywall I was putting up. I rolled over on the floor and felt the pinch of 2 nails poking through the butt of my jeans. Beep, I said to the empty room. The nails pulled out easy, and I tried to recall the last time I had a tetanus shot. I didn't remember. It might have been a year ago when I sliced my arm splitting drywall. I really didn't want to have to get another one. This project would be the death of me, just like this woman, or at least maim me permanently. This much I knew was certain. Hunter! Coming, shrew! Grumbling through the pain, I pocketed the stupid nails, ignoring the sting of punctured skin, wondering if I bled through my darn boxers. All these years, and the girl still had a set of lungs on her that didn't have me too worried about someone busting into the house. Nope, she'd just take a few years off my life in the process. I rushed towards the kitchen, bypassing a mirror hanging on the wall that she refused to take down, and imagined seeing a few new gray hairs taking root in my scalp. I couldn't confirm from first glance, but I would definitely be back later to check it out. Babe, the nickname fell from my loose lips, followed by, what the heck? Oh, bleep and bleep. I stumbled into her, nearly taking her down, getting a mouthful of strawberry-scented blonde hair. Grabbing her, shaking her shoulders to keep her upright in front of me, I pulled her back against my chest. Her breasts heaved under my arms, 2 soft mounds pressed against me with the potential to cross my eyes and curse me stupid. If I were a real pervert, a skill better left to Damien, I would have sneaked a peek down my best friend's red checkered flannel shirt. Instead, I forced myself to think about aging aunts and 20 cats and pea-smelling trailers in the Alabama heat to keep my beep from doing anything dirty from behind. She held the crowbar she must have been using to chip off the god-awful tiles from the counter's backsplash. I looked past her at the corner of the kitchen into large black beady eyes that glowed with malevolence from under tufts of gray and brown feathers. Stupid bird scared me half to death. She shuddered under my grasp, and hooking my arm protectively around her, I squeezed gently, pulling her back out of the way into the hallway behind us. Give me the crowbar. She handed me the metal bar, hovering next to me. I took it from her hands and placed the ball cap on my head backwards so nothing obstructed my view of the disease-bringing flying rat. Hunter. I waved her back with one hand, my eyes trained on the enemy. I got this. Eyes locked on the bird, I didn't know who I was trying to reassure more, her or myself, but I knew I couldn't back out once the words were uttered. Hunter, are you sure? I mean, what if it has rabies? Hissing, I found Taylor Jane's faith in my ability to annihilate the feathered creature not at all encouraging. I huffed my reply. Babe, grab me the Swiffer from the pantry. Ignoring her soft snort of irritation, I issued my command, hoping this darn bird wouldn't emasculate me. It was a good thing I had the crowbar, right? Taylor Jane left the kitchen, and for a moment we stared each other down, man to fowl, my eyes to his beady ocular orbs. I expected it to fly at me, claws out and screeching, but it seemed as uncertain of me as I did of it. Here, nudging me, Taylor handed me the pole. Don't hurt him. Pleading blue eyes melted my angst, and I wondered how the heck I was getting this thing out of here without ruffling more than just a few feathers, or putting holes in the kitchen's new drywall. 1 second she was screaming bloody heck, and now she had her panties in a bunch, begging me to let this animal live in our half-demo project. Unbelievable. I would never understand women. Wait in the living room. There was that pout of hers again. What was she expecting with an infectious diseased wing killer hanging out over the sink? I tried again, indicating the living room with a nod. Please. It's safer, and I won't have to worry about you getting clawed or me swinging too wide. Hefting the crowbar I still held, she rolled her eyes. Hunter, you played football, not baseball. Don't hurt yourself, please. This thing could have some communicable disease, probably a half dozen, and new ones not yet named by the scientists of the CDC, and she had the gall to mock my good arm? Taylor Jane muttered something about equal rights and entered into the living room, leaving me with something akin to Hitchcock's The Birds. Taking a deep breath, I squared off with my opponent. All right, you beady-eyed trucker. Time for you to get out of my girl's house. I took a step toward him, one hand with the Swiffer and the other a crowbar, and it took off flying in a wide circle, screeching. The piercing sound surprised me, forcing a bob of my head down. I was glad no one else was here in the house to witness this. Ah! The Swiffer got waved in a compulsory arc, followed by the crowbar and a duck for cover when it swooped down, only to circle the ceiling a second time. Nothing about my time in the military could have prepared me for an enemy like this. You're going down, mother trucker. Muttering under my breath, I dropped the bar and made a dash for the window over the sink, flinging the windowsill upward. The little bugger made another circle of the kitchen, and I felt it challenging me, mocking me, and my temper flared to DEFCON 6. I swore it dived at me, and I ducked, crouching low, throwing my hands up and covering my head. I lunged toward it, trying to encourage it out the open window. Grrr! I missed and ended up knocking over Taylor's fancy life-planning notebook that had a girly name I couldn't remember off the counter, scattering her notes everywhere like a nuclear winter. Everything okay in there? She was going to be mad about the planner, but I had to pick my battles, and right now, getting rid of the Tootsie Roll Owl was my top priority instead of tertiary shade organizing paint chips. Yep, almost got it worked out. Everything according to plan. Are you sure, Hunter? Maybe I should call Chase to come over. I blew a gusting breath of air that lifted the non-existent hair off my forehead. I didn't need her best friend's brother, my former football teammate, who happened to be a veterinarian coming over to take care of this. I was a vet of a different kind and trained for stuff like this. Nope, it's fine. I got this. Go do something upstairs. Please, woman, just let me fix this without you undermining me for once. Chase said he could come right over, Taylor Jane yelled from the living room. You already called him? Yelling back, I felt incredulous and hot behind my ears. Not even a minute, and she's called in backup. Such faith she has in me. The bird swooped down again before perching on top of a cabinet. Chase said, interrupting her, I yelled, I don't need Dr. Trucking Doolittle. Grrr. Taylor Jane really knew how to shrink my ego quicker than a cold shower. I hoped and prayed she stayed out and let me take care of this my way, of course. I might add a few more holes to the kitchen, but nothing I couldn't cover up tomorrow. Another yell and scream, and I had the Swiffer up and underneath the vermin. Heavy breaths left my hands unsteady, and I squared my shoulders, holding tight. The winged beast was less than 5 feet from me, and for something so small, I freaked the beep out like a virgin on prom night. The whole encounter left me emasculated, and if it was the last thing I did, I would win this battle of man versus bird. I would do it for my girl. Getting back to business, I raised the Swiffer up to level out the bird, and its eyes bore down on me. Deep breaths slowed my racing heart as I kept my arms steady to the point of cramping. Easy, easy, bird, that's it. I realized I was talking softly to the darn bird, and I hoped Taylor Jane appreciated this by baking me some cookies, double fudge brownies, or a mother's cherry tart recipe I love so much. Anxiety twisted my stomach and the hope for chocolate, anything after all this darn effort. Come on, Mr. Owl. I moved him just slightly, but it wasn't enough to get it out the window yet. It's okay. Okay, good boy. Please don't fly in my face again. Hunter. I squeezed my eyes shut, gathering a calming breath. Not now, Taylor Jane. Not now. Gritted teeth, I scolded her in a deep voice as I lowered the darn puff of brown and gray feathers another fraction of the distance closer to the open window. Those black and gold rimmed eyes seemed to narrow in on me like lasers, and if I were a lesser man, I might have pooped myself. Don't hurt Mr. Hooter, she yelled from the vicinity of the front foyer. Did you just name this bird? Clenching my teeth would have my dentist mad, but I was beyond rational emotion, and I swear this bird had to be male because this felt like the worst pissing contest possible. Sure did. He's cute, don't you think? He needed a name, right? I was 100% positive my best friend had it out for me. I would gladly take rabies after this. No, I don't think so. Grumbling, I kept my eye on the downy feathered prize that squinted at me. I was positive birds could do this, because that was exactly what it looked like he was sizing me up. At least I could confidently say my beep was bigger, not that it mattered. A step closer had me coaxing the bird in a hushed growl. Doing good, Mr. Hooter. No, don't fly away, Mr. Hooter. Don't fly. Please stop looking at me. Oh, Jesus, here we go. Coaxing the wild bat of feathers, I stepped back, lowering the rod further outside the rim of the window, and got the rod just beyond the lip of the window. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my. Hey, oh, poop. I shook the rod with a good swing, knocking the bird off, forcing him to fly away from the house. Beep, yeah, beeping, yeah, mother trucker. Mission accomplished. I flung him out off the Swifter, letting it go out the window and feeling a little like John McClane in Die Hard, watching the bird take off into the night sky. It flew upward as I fell back against the cabinets with heaving breaths. I was splayed out on the floor, feeling a sting in my butt from the nails that, nailed me moments earlier when Taylor Jane rushed in again, kneeling at my side. Is Mr. Hooter okay? Her hands clutched my face, and all I could do was close my eyes and let my head hang back against the cabinets. Seriously, Taylor Jane? Here I was on the kitchen floor, a wounded victim from 2 nails in my butt, and she was more concerned about a darn bird that almost stabbed my eyes out with his beak, a bird she named Mr. Hooter. All I could think about were boobs and birds right now. The idea was appalling until I looked at Taylor Jane's heaving chest with wide eyes. Birds and boobs, boobs and birds. I hoped my beep stood down. The sleeves of her 2 large red flannel shirt were rolled up, and a wide braided belt nipped in her waist over short as heck jean shorts, joined by her new tan Timberland work boots. I kind of missed the blue ones she wore matching her eyes, and it was a mighty fine sight as my beep agreed, pressing painfully against my jeans. Why couldn't my best friend wear clothes that covered her business up? A paper bag, a black trash bag, anything that didn't scream, beat me up on the kitchen floor with the drywall dust for starters would be nice. My mother would have called her exasperating. If I was being honest with myself, I wanted to beep her hard. Frustrated, I stood up a little unsteady and walked past her back to the living room and my current drywall project. My butt hurt and I said nothing, limping back to my half-put-up sheetrock with a tetanus shot on my to-do list for tomorrow. I wasn't taking any chances. Hunter? Yes, Taylor Jane. Is your butt bleeding? The observation wasn't lost on me, but my patience was paper thin, and I couldn't deal with any more emasculation today. I needed to go home, watch some sports, drink a beer in the dark, and try yanking my junk without thinking about her. I'm fine, but even I knew that was a lie. I was so far from beeping fine with this girl. Hunter? What? My tone was sharper than I meant it to be. Sure you're okay? You kind of screamed like a girl back in there. A wicked little smile turned the corners of her face as she thumbed in the direction of the kitchen. I shook my head, ignoring her. Taking off my baseball cap, slapping it on my leg, and running a hand over my shorn head, I walked away, leaving her mouth gaping in the kitchen. Designer notebook pages littered the linoleum floor that would be ripped up later this week. Window screens were definitely getting installed tomorrow morning ahead of schedule. Screw Taylor Jane's budget. I refused to have any other ruffled feathers during this nightmare project that seemed fraught with problem after problem. Okay.
So cute. Oh my gosh.
Tried to edit it as best I could.
No, you did great. They love the bleeping bleeps, and also Linda says boobs and birds, LOL.
Yeah.
All right. I know we are short on time.
Yeah.
Which is my fault because I think I talked way too much in the beginning, but I want to get to as many questions as we can, like in the next minute or so. So let's do speed questions, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Teresa wants to know, I learned a new phrase from Jennie last week, hero baiting. Do you use this technique?
Ooh.
So Jennie, do you want to tell us first real quick what hero baiting is, and then we can tell you if we use that technique?
Hero baiting just means that you're baiting the future hero in your book. I'm sure that you all do this. So in a series, you bring in the hero in the current book and you bait, and give us all the reasons why we're in love with the new hero and why we have to read his book next.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Got it. I've never heard it called hero baiting before. So
Nope.
I thought you had like some masterful technique that you were going to enlighten us all with.
That is a masterful technique.
It is. No, that's funny. So yes.
I'm glad to hear Dylan hasn't heard of it either, because I was like, oh crap, am I like so far out of the game that I don't know what hero baiting is? So I'm not
just
the only
baiting
one.
the next hero. I don't know. I learned it from Deb, so I don't know.
Okay.
I learned it from
awesome. Do you call it that, Rachel?
I've never called it that, but I've always like kind of teased who the next couple is in my longer series. So yeah.
Yep. I agree. I think readers love that and hate it at the same time. But all right. And then Linda wants to know, what attracted you to the genre you write in?
Ooh. Well, I like happily ever afters.
Yeah. I like mysteries. I like rom-coms. I like to laugh. I like to cry. I love women's fiction. I love stories with women's friendship. I'm a middle child. I have a bunch of siblings. And so I just love the friendship of women and the fun that they have and the trouble they get into. And I just love a book that makes you laugh and swoon a little and have a happy ending and fall in love.
So do you also love cowboys then?
And I love cowboys.
Okay. Just checking.
I'm from Colorado, but I'm originally from Kansas, a small town in Kansas. And so grew up on a farm, horses. I'm a horsey girl.
So what about you, Dawn? What attracted you? Because this is actually the last question. I scrolled way down. This is the last
What about
one.
Rachel?
Oh, I'm sorry.
She said.
I love happily ever afters, just want to escape into that and, all of the shenanigans and hijinks that they all get into.
Yeah. Now are you going to ask me?
Are you passing, Dawn?
No, what was question? What attracted you to genre? Oh, I love cowboys. I heard you have to write what you know, right? And so like I know cowboys, I know westerns. I grew up there. I that's all the things that I did my whole life. If I wrote what I love to read, I would write Regency, but I have zero knowledge of Regency other than what I read. So
but you write paranormal too.
I do. Well, I love paranormal because I can make up. I said
stuff. You can make stuff up.
I can make stuff up. I can make stuff up. I can just like create things that are just like coming out of me, and it's all about the creating of things and like making whole new worlds that nobody's ever been to, and then I can make any rules I want to in that world, and I love that, like just the creative freedom of paranormals. So,
and I would agree with everything you guys said.
Yeah, that's a cop out. Come on, give it one more thing.
I think so. I write steamy small town contemporary and contemporary westerns, and I write steamy because I like the steamy, So I mean, we haven't talked about heat level, but I like the heat. I like I like falling in love along with. I mean, I write male female, so I like falling in love with the hero, along with the heroine, alongside the heroine. As I write.
I love that.
I like the, I don't know,
the butterflies.
Yeah, I like love stories. So,
you're just a big old softie.
And it's, I like them even more when there's a little bit of heat involved. So,
yeah, like that bathtub scene from All American Cowboy.
That was Sweet Tea and Second Chances.
Okay. Oh, dang it, man.
Yes.
Sorry,
that's
Sweet
all
Tea
right.
and Second
You were
Chances.
almost there. You were almost there. So that's it for this week. We've got giveaway up on the Romance Happy Hour page that we will leave open through the weekend. Do you want to say real quick, do you remember what you're giving away? I know we asked you for that information a while ago.
Yeah.
I do. I was giving away an ebook of the first book in the Creedence Horse Rescue series, Cowboy State of Mind.
Okay. And you read
I don't remember what I was giving away, but I could give away a signed paperback. Oh, and I could do a $10 Amazon gift card too. So it would be fun.
I think that's what we have up there is a $10 Amazon gift card. So you could give the winner
Either
their
way.
choice if you want to do that. So
Sure.
or however you want to handle that.
Or pick two, one
Sure.
can get a gift card, one can get the signed book.
All right, we can do that too. So so make sure you head over and see what you need to do to enter both of those. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks, Dawn.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
So
Yeah.
anything else to add?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
Yeah,
for coming.
thank you.
I've done any of
Yeah.
this like in a really long time, so this was fun.
It is.
This was a lot of fun. Oops, there we can take the comment off so we all get a little bit bigger. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. And just so you guys know, Jenny and Rachel stepped in at the last minute because we had
2 different authors cancel last minute. It was my fault. I wasn't paying attention to the emails. They confirmed and then they canceled. So.
Summer has been really tricky because I think it feels like this summer, last summer people were kind of getting out a little bit more, but it feels like people are getting out and getting around this summer. And so, I think people have just underestimated how busy things are. I can't believe it's already the middle of July. I don't know about you guys, but
oh my God, right?
oh my gosh. Yeah.
And I'm on deadline, so I'm not leaving my house. So I was around.
Well, thank you so much for stepping in, both of you. You were
Yes.
lifesavers.
Thank you very
especially
much.
for me. So yeah.
And as for everybody else, if you've missed a past episode, feel free to go back. They're all on our website at romancehappyhour.com, and they're all in podcast form, so you can take us with you wherever you go.
And YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep. You'll live on forever now. So as long as the internet lasts. All right. Well, we will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for joining us, and everybody have a great night.